Hello guys, welcome on my YouTube channel Tech for You. Guys, on this particular video, we will learn how we can file the income tax return in very quick and very simple steps. So without a waste of time, we have to started our returns. So we have to log on ITR website. After log on, we have to options file now. So it is required to click. After click, we have to select the current financial year, that is 2024-25. We have to option and online and offline. So required to choose the online options. After choose the online options, we have to put continue button. After continue, we have to start new filling options. So it is required to again click on that particular section. There is the sub three sections: individual, HUF and others. So it is required to click on the individual section. Individual sections, we have after that we have various ITR form, ITR 1 2 3 4 5. So whatever the suitable, according that we have to select. So we have to choose ITR 1 and proceed with ITR 1. After click on that ITR 1, we have to subsequent options. Let's get started. So we have to press. Then after that we have some three options. So first options, taxable income is more than the basic exemptions limit. So this particular options should be required to choose. So we go with this particular sections, and then again it will continue. So after press the continue buttons, we have the various sections. Sorry, it is one pop-up is coming, that is okay pop-up. Okay, so after that we have some various sections, around five sections. So different details is required to fill. The first section is the personal information. On this particular sections is required to fill the personal data, like your name, age, date of birth, bank details, and etc. So on this particular sections, after click on that, we have to see the personal data. So if it is any mismatch or discrepancy observed on this particular section, then we have to required to update on this particular sections. So there is a provision of edit, so we can update all the personal data. Now scroll the menu, we have to see the option nature of the employment. So what kinds of nature your employment is, semi government, governments, or PSU, whatever. So it is required to be select. So currently we have to select. Now the options of filing section. So the filing section, by default it's come 139 first. So it is comes because we are filing the ITR before the due date. So it is comes by default. Nothing should be changed to required on this particular section. So it will comes automatic. Now the next and very important section, do you want to exercise 115 BAC opting of new tax regime? So it is very important, we have to select yes or no options. If you go with new tax regimes, it will becomes no options. If you go with old tax regimes, then we have to choose the yes buttons. As we know that the both are new and old tax regimes have own benefits, so we choose very clearly that we want to go with tax regime. Now the details of bank, so it is required to all time validate for the full refunds. So it is required to check if it is any corrections and discrepancy, we have to update. There is a provision of the update, so we have to check and fill the bank details accordingly, and we can update. After the update, we have to continue. After continue, we have to see the second section, that is gross total income. We have to require to click on this particular sections. So after click on that particular sections, that we have to see that there is the we have to see some different kinds of exemptions which is provided by the employer, and we can see the verify with the form 16s, like different kinds of exemptions is provided, like uniform maintenance allowance, children education allowance, your LTC allowance, and house rent allowance, and etc. So whatever the suitability, and according verify, after verified with form 16 or AIS, we have to fill on this particular sections. So there is a provision of yes and no. If it is whatever the applicability, we have to choose yes or no. So whatever we have required is simply, if it is applicable, then we have to simply put yes and put the particular amount on this particular section. If it is not applicable, then simply we have skip all the sections. So simply on this our case there is not applicable, so all sections is not applicable, so we simply click on that no options and we skip on all the options, simply we can skip. So after skip, yes, after skip we see that on the next section we have the section of gross income. So gross total income is automatically by default reflect from form 16 or AIS. We can check the data from our annual statement or from form 16. So it is required to check and refill. So if it is any discrepancy or any mismatch is observed on the gross total income, then we have to provision of the edit. So similarly, we have to require to check the data from form 16 and take data, and again it required to add it. So there is a provision of edit. We have to put similarly the gross total income, and we can update on that. Suppose for example we have the gross total income around 6 lakh rupees, so we have to put just sum of 6 lakh rupees on this particular section, the gross salary on this particular sections we have to put the amount. On the scroll downs we have to see that there is a 50,000 standard deduction that is provided by the government itself, so there is no nothing required to be update. So it is comes automatic, it's by default, so there is not required to do anything. On further scroll downs we have to see the save facility, so we have to save and proceed the returns ahead. After the proceed we have to see the next section, that is income from house property. So that is also very important. In particular sections we have to update related the house property, the own property should be the details should be required to fill up. As we know that in the particular sections we can take the benefit up to 2 lakh rupees. Means if you take the home loans rebate, home loans or something, then on the interest, on the home loan interest yearly 2 lakh rupees can be rebate can be taken. Now income from other sources. So income from other sources like interest from saving bank account or interest from your post office or some others, if it's generated from the accounts and it is required to calculate. So how can we calculate? We can take the passbook and we can add the entire interest amount of the entire year, and subsequently we can add it of this interest amount on this particular section. So there is a provision of edit on the upper. You can see that there is a provision of edit. We can add the interest subsequently according. If we go below down, there is a options of exemption income. If any incomes apart from the salary we have the exempted, then we have to update on this particular sections. Now we have to again confirm and go ahead with the return. On the next and particular section, this is third and most important section, that in total deduction. On this particular sections we have to update the important various deductions had. So after click on this particular sections we have to raise some questions. Are you eligible to claim any deduction or to donation paid? Means on the particular sections we have to raise some queries. If it is not applicable, simply we can no or skip all the questions. There is a various heads that if it's applicable we can put the amount, otherwise we keep simply skip with all the heads. When we go on the next step, we have various sections like ATC, ATD, and different. So whatever our suitability, we have to choose the options. If we talk about the ATC options, ATC means ATC we have claim maximum 1.5 lakh amount on this particular sections. So like insurance, your Sukanya Samriddhi, and etc comes on this particular sections. If you talk about 80D sections, then 80D is basically for the medical expenditures and medical treatments. So these types of things coming on section 80D. So whatever the section is applicable, we have to put and submit, and again it is required to confirm. Have to confirm, there is a fourth section, that is tax paid. So we have to require to click on this particular section. After click on particular sections, we have to see that that is tax calculations, which is comes automatic. There is nothing which you have to require to update or do anything. It is tax calculation TDS, which is calculate automatic, and which required to confirm. So again it is required to confirm. Now last and most important, that is total tax liabilities. In this particular sections, we have to see that whatever how much means how much tax we have to require to pay the governments. So in this sections, we have to see basically summary that what is the gross salary, what is the total deductions, total tax deduction, and what is what how much we have get the rebate. So on this particular sections, we have the total tax amount was 12,460, and similarly we have to get the same amount of the rebate, because the amount of the person is get down below to the 5 lakh. So that person is get uh, full amount of the ITR. So again it is required to confirm. After pressing confirms, we have to almost complete our ITR, and again it is required to proceed, and we have to go with proceed with return. So it is basically one kinds of summary we require to check and preview the returns. So click on this particular section, we have to check and submit and preview, proceed to preview. So proceed to preview, after see that we have generated one sheet. So it is required the data that whether it is correct or not. If it is any mismatch or discrepancy, then we can again it is required to refilling. If it is correct, then preview and proceed to submit. So proceed to again verification, we have to go with verifications. So we click on this particular sections, proceed to verification. We can verifications from the different medias, like we can submit the returns with the Aadhaar or your bank net banking. So whatever the suitable choice, we have to choose one options, and we can submit our returns very well. So suppose we take the first options from Aadhaar, and we submit our returns in well and advanced time. Okay guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this video, and it will be helpful to fill this uh, ITR on for this current year. I hope this will be helpful. And if you are new on this channels, please subscribe and like, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you.